Welcome back to the Restaurant Technology Guys podcast. As I say each and every time, we appreciate you guys spending time with us each week when we talk about the world of restaurants, and today is no exception. We're excited to talk to Duane. Duane and I have been back and forth via email, rescheduled this recording, so I'm excited to finally let the world know what Duane gets to do. So, Duane, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience? Who is Duane? And then we'll talk a little bit about what Duane gets to do for a living.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for the opportunity. Like he said, my name is Duane Waterman. I'm with Polar Leasing Company. We rent temporary cold storage units across the country.
Wonderful. And Duane, I know you and I were talking a little bit about it pre-show, but what exactly does that mean? Talk to me a little bit about what is temporary cold storage. I think all of us have refrigeration in our homes and in our restaurants, but you guys have got some pretty unique applications that you guys have been helping different brands and food service deal with. And so I'd love to talk a little bit about define what that industry is and what it is that you guys do as far as temporary cold storage.
Well, they're actual walk-in coolers. They basically sizes 8 by 10 and 8 by 20. Ground resting walk-in cooler freezers. They're dual temperature, electric powered, and they can be changed from a cooler to a freezer at will.
That's incredible. So, talk to me a little bit about kind of the backstory. Talk to me, where is Polar Leasing coming from? I know you guys are a Midwest-based company, and again, you and I talked a little bit about that pre-show, but up until we got connected to be on the podcast, I was like, cold storage, like, help me understand this. So, give me the backstory. Where's this whole thing come from, and why was it originated? And then I want to really talk about how you guys deliver and what go-to-market looks like.
Sure. Well, our parent company is Polar King. It was been around for about 30 years, designing the all fiberglass seamless cooler freezer unit. And basically, it's to free up storage inside any building. They would build this unit outside of your structure, your facility, to free up the inside space for cooler freezer needs. Then they started to branch out and build smaller units. And that's how Polar Leasing came about not too many years ago. And we branched out from there, and it's exploded.
Anybody that's ever run a restaurant knows the craziness that happens during a meal period in a rush. One of our partners, Restaurant Technology's Total Oil Management Solution, is an end-to-end oil management system that delivers, filters, monitors, and recycles your cooking oil, taking one of the jobs that none of your team wants to do and takes it off your hands, allowing your team members to focus on their guest. Control the kitchen chaos with Restaurant Technologies and make your kitchen safer while maximizing your staff's time. The solution can be provided at no upfront cost. If you want to learn more, please check out rti-inc.com or call 888-796-4997. Yeah, again, and you and I were talking a little bit about it pre-show about kind of the use cases, but still super intrigued, I guess, about, so you've got cold storage inside, you got your walk-in freezers, everybody that's been in a restaurant for any length of time has had to deal with that, the walk-in fridge, the walk-in freezer. Talk to me a little bit about kind of even what that process looks like, because it sounds like, it almost sounds too good to be true that I've dealt with in the past, dry storage where, you throw a trailer out back and you can throw dry storage in there, but I've never even considered the fact that you guys have the ability to do something like that. So talk me through even kind of what that process is for those that are struggling or get stuck in a circumstance where they may need additional storage space in the cold storage area.
Actually, it's very similar to when you'd order a dry storage unit. You'd order a container, and they drop it to where you need it on your property for that need. It's the same kind of concept. It will need to be hardwired to your electric panel or generator for power, but it is a simple connection, and it's just basically you'd contact us, and we deliver it basically anywhere it's firm and level. So we would drop it anywhere on your property that has a firm level surface, and that can be connected to a power source.
That's, it's a very, again, unique value prop, that you guys can do this. And talk to me a little bit about it sounds like it's an industry that's been around for a little bit, but this is something that you guys have kind of started. Where are some of the things that you guys are finding the best use cases for these circumstances. Like, and again, you and I talked about it in restaurants. And again, I guess I'll do a quick little plug. There's a restaurant in our town that does quite a bit of food for the less fortunate around the holidays. And they all do, turkey giveaways at Thanksgiving. It happens to be a barbecue place here in town. And they put a cold storage unit because they needed to bring in hundreds of these turkeys. And then they put in a warm storage unit to
Hmm.
store those things and hold on to them prior to delivering them to the homeless that were in town. Is that a kind of a unique business case, or is that kind of super common in your world? Is that stuff that you see happening kind of on a regular basis?
It's actually very common. It's becoming more common each year, but we rent to a lot of food pantries across the country for that exact need, mostly during the holidays to store turkeys and hams, as you stated, or other products for the less fortunate, or churches, or, like I said, food pantries that hand out food. So.
Got ya. Got ya. So you talk about getting in your description, Dwayne. You talked about being able to run these things off a generator and or
Mhm.
hardwiring. Talk to me a little bit about what that process looks like and what the electrical needs are, because really where I want to try and steer this conversation is if somebody's at a place where they're like, oh, this sounds great. Now, how do I get into a circumstance where I realize, oh crap, I bit off more
Right.
than I can chew, and I don't know what I'm doing. So, talk me through kind of what those needs are and what the assessment is that you guys have to do as you guys are starting to engage with people that are looking for this type of solution.
Okay. Well, our units are not plug and play per se. It does not come with any cord. It sounds complicated, but it's a very simple hardwire connection. We recommend an electrician to provide that cord, and they usually connect the unit. Very few problems to connect and disconnect the unit when needed. It runs on a 220, 30 amp single phase, which accommodates a lot of different of the industry. A lot of the larger units, the 40 and 53-foot trailers per se, require a lot higher voltage. So it makes it a little bit more not as cost efficient when you need a temporary unit. Our unit is less voltage, or requires less voltage for connections. So it's a lot easier connection. It's a lot cheaper because of the time and the cord used. So it's
Yeah,
um,
makes it a better value proposition. I'm
right.
going to pivot just actually, no, I'm going to stay on this thread real quick, Dwayne. Where you talk about a level service, how level does it need to be? I'm on a construction site. I'm in a disaster area.
Mhm.
I'm out and I'm a restaurant. I'm a church that wants to go put it on the back lot, to be able to go feed the less fortunate throughout the holidays. What does that need to look like? Kind of talk to me about the size requirements, even the surrounding areas and all of that, and how level does it really need to be for those that are, I'm doing air quotes for those that are on audio only.
Right. Well, it needs to be as level as possible for the unit to work correctly. The air unit, the compressor and the condenser for the cooler freezer should be as level as possible. However, it can be placed on gravel ground, like you said, for disaster areas, emergency need. Shims can be used if it's too much of an incline or decline, and as long as it's safely to enter in and out, we do that all the time. We recommend and help our customers that may have a slight incline to use shims so it's safely placed.
So in that, I'm assuming you can't just go order one online and have FedEx deliver these things because they're they're probably pretty big. Talk to me a little bit about what that process looks like. Like walk me through. I call Dwayne, I get a hold of Dwayne, and I want one of these units, and I need it for 60 days on my
Mhm.
lot. What does that process look like from the time I engage with your team till the time that I get a unit delivered? Walk me through that whole process for those that are intrigued about how this may work.
Sure. Normal lead time, depending on the circumstances, is 1 to 3 business days. From the time we start talking to that we have something delivered to your locations, 1 to 3 days, depending on the
Holy
location.
smokes, that's
Um,
insane.
and,
Sorry.
no, that's okay. The longer distances may take a little bit longer, and depending on how long the contract and payment process, which is very simple, we try to make it as simple as possible. Everything's basically digital. So once you place your order, we go through a few steps. We place the order with our third-party freight partners, which are depots that house our units. We have over 95 across the country that once they get the order, they would deliver the unit and place it where your customer would need it, and then return and pick it up. these depots house and take care of, or basically clean and deliver and pick those units up for us.
That's pretty incredible. And what's the, I mean, as far as minimum times, I mean, do people use them for a week? Is this something that I've got some work getting done on my walk-in, and I don't want the food to spoil. I can go rent one for a week. It obviously is going to
Mhm.
cost me some money and some time and some energy. But I guess what's the minimum amounts of time that people can use these units for?
The minimal rental period we offer right now is 1 week.
Okay.
Okay. And if they need it less than that for a special event, we can pick that up earlier, but that is our lowest rate that we offer is 1 week. Our rates, we can rent up to 1 and 2 years or even longer. The longer you rent, the cheaper it is per month. So we offer a discount on that fact.
That's pretty. I mean, it's kind of cool. And again, I'm just thinking of some of the use cases from some of the restaurant brands that are out there. Um, talk me through any kind of special occasions, because again, we get these phone calls from some of our brands where they're like, I had a brand recently that was opening a pop up at the F1 Formula One race that was in Vegas a couple of months ago, and they wanted a full 20 terminal POS system for 2 weeks. Are
Mhm.
those circumstances that you guys run into where they're doing county fairs, or they're doing these different venues, or is it primarily on an actual property?
No, we do many of those events. In fact, we were there at the F1 in
Okay.
Vegas. I had
Did you get a
we
chance
had
to go?
many units. I I don't get to go, but I definitely ordered units for that location
Okay.
for a couple of vendors that ordered them. So that's how easy they can be placed in and out of something like that. But we rent to special events like that, like fairs, festivals, yearly events for any kind of organization. Rely on us for a short-term cold storage as an
I love
option.
it.
So
I
mhm.
love it. I'm going to pivot a little bit, Dwayne. Talk to me a little bit about. You talked about the fact that you guys have got both a unit that can both freeze and just do regular refrigeration.
Mhm.
That sounds like some pretty crazy tech. I guess I've never considered my home freezer or my home fridge changing the temperatures that drastically, because they seem like there's a pretty big disparity between the temperature differences. And I mean, while the tech probably sounds the same, I didn't realize that that was even something that was possible. And now you put it into a temporary storage unit that you can place somewhere. Talk to me a little bit about what that looks like.
Okay, well, we do have separate coolers and freezers. The majority of our rental fleet, though, are dual temps. They're DT units. The 810 and 820 are dual temperature. Once they're connected to the power, you just switch it to either a cooler or a freezer and then dial your desired temperature. You would do the same thing by switching for that. It's just that simple for our customer, the how we have each unit set up for those DTs.
That's interesting. I mean, again, I didn't even realize that that was a thing. I know in the world of refrigeration and in the world of really cooling, IoT has become a big deal. Talk to me a little bit about how that may play into temperature monitoring in these temporary units. Because again, do you guys have anything related to that? Because I do find that clients are trying to figure out, is the chicken stored at the proper temperature, and if not,
Right.
then what does that look like? Can you educate some of our listeners on what that world looks like and how you guys might help solve for that?
We do have a monitoring system that we have on most of our units, if not all of our newer units for sure. It's not a service we offer to customers at this time. We're still working out some bugs here and there to possibly offer that in the future. Right now, we have a monitoring service for our service department that we rely on, basically keeping track or checking those units once service is ordered, if it's ordered. I mean, so it's not something that comes with when you order, okay, we're going to monitor it 24/7 for you. We rely on our product. It is a good product. And if anything would go wrong, we offer 24/7 service to get a tech there to work on it as soon as possible. So hopefully no product is lost.
Yeah, and again, I'm still blown away with the fact that you guys are 1 to 3 days to get a unit delivered.
Mhm.
That seems like a very just an interesting approach. Um, what are some of the things that people don't think about as it relates to this world, Dwayne? Like what precludes people from doing this? Because up until we got it got introduced, I didn't even know that something like this existed. I guess I probably should have known, but what why do you think that? Why do you think? I mean, you've talked about the growth that you guys have had, and I love hearing that story. And at the same time, it sounds like there's this is an unknown quantity that we need to get out to the world to let people know that this exists, so that they can start to think about some of those different unique cases that they could be using them for, but they just didn't even know that it was an option.
Right. Well, prior to this, I mean, there are temporary boxes out there that you can rent that are large tractor trailer types that can be accessed through ramps. This makes it easier because they're ground resting. People can, customers can walk in and out. It's a safety. They're seamless boxes. So we revolutionized the industry with the fiberglass, fully fiberglass seamless construction. So that has changed that. The issues that come up from time to time are electrical. Now it's a simple electrical connection, and it's usually pretty cost efficient, mostly in the operation. Um, your operation costs are a lot cheaper than using a gas powered.
Yeah. And
The
a lot
older
quieter,
styles
probably
are
too. A lot quieter
oh,
in that environment, because I've been at
a
places
lot.
where generators running outside. You're like, can you please turn that thing off? Because it's making it miserable in here.
Right, and for special events, they have to use generators depending on if they're out in fields or for fairs and stuff. But for the aspect of for the electrical operation, it's more cost efficient for per month. It's also quieter, and it's a lot safer to enter. So we've changed that aspect instead of having, going from the gas powered units that are out there. We tried to give them a better, safer option.
And that aren't sitting on this trailer and all that entails with that. Are you at liberty to talk about any of your success stories for restaurants? I love hearing success stories from people. If you know of anybody that might be, you could tell the story even of the F1 thing, because that'd be cool for people to hear. But do you have anybody that you think has used these in a unique way in restaurants that might help, I guess, spark some interest in some of our restaurant brands that are sitting here listening, going, I didn't realize that was something that somebody might be able to do. I know I'm
Oh,
jumping this at you right in the middle, but I figured it would be good for people to hear one or two really good success stories that you've got, Dwayne.
well, I'm not sure about success stories, but there's numerous companies out there, organizations that rely on us for major sports events like the PGA. There's a lot of mobile kitchen companies out there that are spread across the United States that rely on us for temporary cold storage to go with their mobile kitchens. They sometimes have coolers, but they always need more, and they rely on us to basically follow them for their renovations or new construction builds or special events.
I love it. I love it. What did we miss in today's conversation, Dwayne, about kind of what Polar does? I mean, I love the idea of, and again, I encourage our listeners to think about the different use cases that they could have, because, as Dwayne said, they've got leases as short as a week and as long as a couple of years, depending upon what your business need is. But what else did we miss in our conversation that we should have let our listeners know that are options out there that you guys are thinking about doing that solve some real problems?
One of the biggest pros compared to other companies, other types of construction, is our seamless construction. Our fiberglass, it basically holds the cold in longer. It releases less air, so your operating costs will be a lot cheaper than many other types of units. So that's probably one of the most important things people um, ask about is how efficient is this? And am I going to be spending a lot of money on keeping the upkeep on it?
Hmm.
With the 24/7 service and the seamless and quiet operation of the unit, it really has become an asset for a lot of different businesses.
Yeah, and I can imagine that idea, because well, and it's again, it's still so interesting to me. The more I get people that are doing equipment online, the amount of tech that goes into these things, and just how, I mean, refrigeration's been around for a number of years, but the innovations that go into these things to really help people to make their business better and to really give them opportunities to operate in different ways that they couldn't before is always really, really, really cool. So, Dwayne, how do people get in touch to learn more? Is it just jump on the website? Do they contact you? Talk to me a little bit about more about what engagement might look like, and as you said, it's you guys try to make it as seamless as possible. And so, how should our listeners, if they're interested, engage with you and learn more about what Polar Leasing's doing?
Okay, well, we have a very good website. Go to www.polarleasing.com, and anybody can help you from there. It shows you a good interface to contact somebody either via text or email. It actually shows how the units are powered, delivered, and how they're basically constructed. And you can basically get a hold of us anywhere in the world with that. Um, Also, Polar King, our sister company, you can also visit them at the same address. It has a link on there.
I love it. And to our listeners, guys, as I said at the onset, I know you guys have got lots of choices, so we appreciate you guys spending time. Duane, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about the idea of what you guys are doing. I love hearing about innovative stories and innovative companies that are really changing the landscape of what it is that we do in restaurants and restaurant tech. So thank you for jumping on. If you guys haven't already
Mhm.
subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter. Once a month, you'll get an email with all of the content that we delivered throughout the month. To our listeners, make it a great day.
Thank you very much for having me.